What's up, guys? It's Wednesday, so that means it's time for Keto Conversations. And we are going to do a special edition today for I Heart Keto because it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
So come and join us for Keto Conversations.
So welcome back to another Keto Conversations. And as Sarah mentioned in the intro, this is a special Valentine's edition, and it's called I Heart Keto.
Or Why We Love Keto.
Or Why We Love Keto.
Kind of in keeping with the Valentine's theme.
And so we actually have some notes here, so you might see us look down, and that's probably, we're trying to read. But anyway, you can start.
Okay.
What's some of the things you love about keto?
Well, first of all, it has to be delicious food, of course.
Yes.
Because what other lifestyle can you eat things like avocados and bacon and full fat everything?
Right.
And have that be considered a diet.
Yes.
So, and actually lose weight and gain health benefits on eating yummy food.
Yeah.
So definitely that has to be number one for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yummy food.
I don't. Somebody said something that worked to me the other day about I don't want to eat
rabbit food.
Is that what she said? Something.
And it's kind of like, are you watching me?
Yeah,
eat?
I was like, are you serious? Are you watching what I'm eating? I'm not. I mean, yeah, I might eat a salad to get my get vegetables in, but rabbit food? Are you serious? That crap that you're eating trying to lose weight is way
You
less
don't have to count anything. I think that's another benefit is that you get to focus on nutrient dense food that tastes yummy and not necessarily have to worry so much about calorie restriction or counting points or some of those other things where it's a little bit more fluid.
Right.
And of course, counting macros, depending on what type of keto you do, might be something that you do, but it's not, the focus isn't so much on that as it is just getting the right nutrients.
Yeah,
so that's another thing I love about keto.
So another thing is increased energy, more energy from keto, being keto adapted.
Less mental fog.
Yeah, I definitely have noticed that I'm a lot clearer.
Yeah.
That's right, clearer.
Yeah.
In my thinking. And
even if it doesn't always come out of the mouth clearer.
Right. Believe me, I'm a lot clearer than I used to be. So.
Some random thing that I wrote down on this list was easier shopping. Because you basically get to do the perimeter of the grocery store. Oh. Because a lot of your junky, carby, processed foods are found kind of in the middle aisles of the store.
That's a good point.
So, basically if you go into the store and you can just kind of cruise around the outer aisles, you have your vegetables and then, your meat and dairy over here, and then the back wall and things like that are, can be some of the things that we still can eat, like pork rinds and, a lot of those things. So a lot of times you can avoid the busier sections of the grocery store because you're just cruising around there. I know it seems like a small thing, but especially when I'm going shopping with the girls and, I have a 6 and 7 year old and it's like, if you can just go in and get it done, that's really nice.
No, that's a really good point.
Nice.
And I would also say, as far as the easier shopping goes, and this is kind of reiterating a point that we talk about a lot with our channel. We make the recipes to show you that you're gonna have live keto as a lifestyle, and we do the
desserts
and all that stuff. Yeah. But again, we don't eat like that every day.
No,
we have some really basic things that we eat, kind of rotate through staples all the time.
Yeah,
and so although like I said, we might make a recipe. That might be the only time we eat, like the meatloaf recipe, for example. We had meatloaf that time after we made that.
But we might go a month or more before
exactly.
we do that particular meal again. So that goes in back to the idea of easier shopping. A lot of times for us, it is just meat and a vegetable and a fat, whether it's avocados.
And we were doing the. What were we calling those segments? Quick
keto cooking?
Yeah, quick keto cooking. And the reason you probably haven't seen a lot of those is because
we've been eating the same foods that we showed in keto cooking.
We rotate through that food quite often, so
That's right.
it's not like we're like reinventing the wheel every week.
That's right.
Because we just don't have time to do it. You know, we both have
full-time jobs,
kids, and we just don't have time to do it. So anyway, that kind of goes with the easier shopping.
Yes.
So what else?
I think you tend to have your cravings more in hand than you would if you were just on the SAD diet, or if you were trying to follow a calorie restricted diet. I think once you become fat adapted, you are able to manage your cravings a lot more. Your cravings for carbs and for sugar. I think that you're able to. You just don't have as many, in my experience.
Right. And I guess what I would add to that is, I mean, I agree with you. I don't have cravings like I used to have, but I still do get cravings even for things on keto.
Well, yeah.
There's things that, for example, or maybe cravings. Maybe cravings isn't the word. There's things on keto that I have to be careful with, like nuts.
Right, and we're putting up a bonus video today for Valentine's Day that is going to be. We're going to be talking about chocolate. Lily's chocolate, and how in that video we discussed that it's wonderful and yummy and we love it, but we don't eat it every day.
Right.
And even though it's a ketogenic food, you still do have to pay attention to how much you're eating.
Right.
And if it's a red light food for you, to be aware that it's still a treat, it's still dessert, or for whatever reason.
And it's important for you to know what your red light keto foods are.
Right.
Like for me, pecans. Salted roasted pecans are a red light food.
Yes,
food,
definitely.
and I could go through a whole can
myself as well.
If I'm not careful.
But they have to be roasted and salted.
A whole can.
Because if I have just a bag of pecans, nope, won't do a thing for me.
It's something about the roasted and salted part. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that's sorry. We probably kind of got off on a.
That's okay. We're kind of tangency kind of people. Yeah. So let's talk about being sick. Have you been sick this year so far?
I have not been as sick as in the past. Although I've never been a super sickly person, but in my office we've had people out. I mean, with the flu, and I didn't get a flu shot. And I do credit. There have been things that have kind of felt like they tried to get a hold of me, like colds, and
but I haven't. It's not like a magic bullet.
Right, I haven't had any colds. I haven't had. There've been things, like I said, like right now, even tonight, I've got kind of a hoarse throat, but that could just be from talking and making noise.
And it's cold. It's pretty cold outside.
Right, and so, but I have noticed that it seems like my immunity seems to be stronger or different since I've been on keto.
Well, and I have small children, and I work at a middle school. So it's
like
in
germs.
Velcro for viruses.
Yeah, you are.
And so I'm not saying that I haven't been sick at all this winter, but I think that even if I do get sick, I'm able to get over it a little quicker, a little easier. So I think that I definitely am 100% less sick than I have been in years past being on keto.
Right.
So I definitely see a difference in that.
Yeah,
not that I never get sick.
Yeah, and we're not saying that keto is a magic thing for everything, although we might come up with a shirt for that. But anyway, that's not what we're saying, and we're not doctors or anything like that. We're not, if you get sick, you get sick, and you do whatever you need to do when you get sick.
Right. But there are therapeutic benefits.
Yeah, there are therapeutic benefits to keto, and we were talking about that the other day. I have felt like this year I've gotten sick a lot less, especially with all the crap that's been going around in my workplace than anybody else.
Well, and even the long-term possible therapeutic benefits for living this lifestyle. Of course, decreased diabetes. You found that in your own story. That is a fact for you.
Yeah, when I started keto, I
don't have diabetes anymore.
I had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I was on metformin. I was on, what else was on?
I think you were on a statin.
I was on a statin. I was on, I was like 3 or 4 other things too.
Yeah.
And all that stuff went away really quickly actually. when I started keto. So
yeah,
I'm a testament to that. My doctors really didn't have much to say about it, except, oh, wow, your numbers have changed. But
but it wasn't.
They didn't.
And isn't it funny that, you know, we were talking about this the other night, how, you know, people who are from the 40s through the 60s, you know, like my grandmother, when she talks about diabetes, she still calls it sugar diabetes.
Yeah, I remember
because
that term.
Back then, people, they realized the link between sugar and diabetes. And now, if you are diagnosed with prediabetes or diabetes, diet is not what they generally right off the top recommend that you start doing.
Yeah, I had I had an ex-wife who I remember we went in, and she got diagnosed with as being diabetic. We didn't leave out with a bunch of drugs.
No, it was change this.
We left with a bunch of paper and said, hey, you need to change your diet.
And they just don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
So they automatically want to give you like metformin or something. Yeah. And of course there are always times and places for people to get medication if that's what they need, especially if they choose not to change their diet, or if they would like to change their diet but they need to work into it. But that was something that I found really interesting, is that that's not even really considered protocol anymore. You
don't even hear that anymore.
Right.
And like I said, when I went in and was diagnosed as pre-diabetic, and then even later saying, okay, well, no, you got type 2 diabetes, no one ever talked about diet. No one ever mentioned anything about my diet at all. Zero.
No. So for us, having a love for the keto diet, you know, helping with things like diabetes, and also possible future things that we might encounter, like dementia runs in my family. You know, so I feel by following this, I might help stave off some of those kinds of things.
Right.
You know, cancer, diabetes, dementia.
Right.
You know. Right. There are a lot of scientific links that this way of eating can help prevent those. So that's another reason to love keto. Yeah.
Are we done?
I think so.
Oh, wow. We went through the whole list?
We went through the whole list.
Oh, wow.
And our keto conversations is not going to be 100 years long.
All right. Well, hey, so that's it for this week's Keto Conversations. If you happen upon this video, we do new videos every week, new recipes every week. We do these keto conversations on Wednesday. So we really would encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we drop content all the time, and we would love to have you here. And if there's something you would like to see us do, a recipe, a review, something you'd like to see us talk about, or even if you just want to leave in the comments below things that you love about the keto lifestyle. Yeah, that'd be good. Actually, that would be good. Let us know in the comments below what you love about the keto lifestyle. That's a really good idea. Because it would be really interesting to know what our fellow Ketonians are loving about this lifestyle. Ketonians? Ketonians. Is that what we're calling people? Sure. Ketonians? Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Maybe that's a t-shirt coming. So, all right. Well, guys, that's it. And happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, yeah. Mwah. Thanks for watching CJ's Keto Kitchen. Peace. Peace. Bye. Bye.